It's now my extreme pleasure to introduce to you someone who probably doesn't need a whole lot of introduction. But you talk about raising up from the bootstraps. This kid went from being a little guest going down to Haiti as a high school student to coming back and now running the Outreach to Haiti organization board of directors, Mr. Conor Brooks.
Thank you, and I want to take a quick moment of personal privilege here to shout out somebody who's actually just at this podium. Drew Hoffman has been, it's hard to find the words, an absolute champion for the children and the people of Haiti for so many years. He has led the Gala committee for, gosh, as long as I can remember. As long as I've been here, it's been Drew. And as far as I understand, Drew's indicated this may be his last year in that chair. So I've had confirmation, it is his last year. So if I could just have a couple seconds, just so we could all have a round of applause for Drew. All right. Well, here we go. When I was 13, I remember our director of religious education, Eileen, announcing that the ministries that we should choose between each had descriptions on printed cards around the basement of St. Patrick's Church. I was preparing for confirmation, and we were in the phase where we needed to participate in a ministry of the church for service hours. The descriptions of the volunteer work we could choose between were laid on tables around the room, just as we were told. I, of course, chose the service option in the way that the Spirit led me to, and Bishop Cody, I want to confirm, I promise it had no relation to the fact that the sheet of paper describing the responsibilities for outreach to Haiti was simply the shortest paper in that room. But for the sake of argument, let's say it was. Most of those opportunities to get involved probably included a 5, maybe 10-hour workload. And here I am 17 years later, so I must have missed the fine print. Had I read more closely, that fine print may have explained that I was about to discover the radical generosity of an organization led and supported by a group of unbelievably passionate folks, and a mission I would soon know as a part of who I am for the rest of my life. The work would be simple to describe, but the emotional investment would be anything but. The inspiration, the love, the anguish, the terror, the jubilation, the exasperation, the dark moments when we admit to ourselves we don't know how a country and a people so devout can suffer such injustice. And then to pull us from those lows, those moments that always come just when you need them and just when you least expect them, the moments you remember God is there and always has been. I'd love to share with you this evening some of the story of outreach to Haiti through my eyes, where we've been, where we are, and where we're heading next. My first trip to Haiti was in 2011, only a year after the earthquake. I remember preparing for that trip with only a meager understanding of what service learning and mission trips would involve. My mind expected evangelism, public works, building a school, digging a well. I remember, though, the quiet guidance of Dennis and Sue and Mary Lou, our trip leaders, cautioning us to temper our expectations for labor and instead asking us to open ourselves to learn, not to do, to listen, not to lead, to partner. Outreach to Haiti was founded on a simple concept and works through a simple mission: helping Haitians help Haitians. I remember in the airport as we gathered at the terminal, seeing a crowd of white faces wearing matching colored shirts with bold lettering exclaiming, "We will save Haiti." That well-meaning toxicity serves as a reminder for me. All we can hope to do is accompany. When we arrived, I met Paul, a young man my same age, who I'd had the pleasure of corresponding with over the past few months by email as a pen pal. We talked for hours. We spoke about hip-hop music in math class, our dating lives, and how many siblings he'd lost in the earthquake. What our favorite foods were, and what it feels like to study when you haven't eaten since Tuesday. That funny movie with Adam Sandler, and which roads were the safest if you wanted to avoid being held at gunpoint. Every typical 16-year-old boy topic was punctuated with a reminder that his life had been and would be so very different from mine. But he never stopped smiling his sheepish grin. He taught me some valuable lessons and even some Haitian Creole. He taught me pomme, garçon, and chat. So if I ever need to know how to say apple man cat, I am set. I'm gonna go. Good. When I was on my way home after one of the most eye-opening weeks of my life, we met one last time. I wanted to give him a gift, but I hadn't thought ahead enough to bring anything for the occasion. So I gave him the paperback copy of the book we'd been reading in AP Lit by Albert Camus. It was a strange choice, but I was really short on options. Beyond all the absurdist and downright confusing things he must have read in that book, especially as someone with only a developing grasp on English, in that book was nestled a concept more demonstrative of Haitian culture than virtually any other. Camus wrote, "I rebel, therefore I exist. I rebel, therefore I exist." Haiti, the first independent Black republic, is a country and a people born of defiant rebellion. Their successful slave revolt, culminating in 1791, is still the only one of its kind in the world. After several years of on-again, off-again conflict, an agreement was finally signed in 1825, recognizing Haiti on the international scale. Of course, that came with a slight cost, namely 150 million francs, to be paid by Haiti to France in reparations for claims over property loss. The ensuing cost of those payments in modern dollars exceeds 33 billion in cash alone, not accounting for the true value of centuries of investments and internal financial stability lost. If you ask me to sum up why Haiti suffers the way it does, I know where I'd point my finger. I'll admit to you all, I delayed writing this speech for many, many weeks. When I found out a few months ago I was going to have the opportunity to speak this evening, there was some violence breaking out in the areas outside of Port-au-Prince, and I thought, oh, I'll wait till that resolves. Maybe I can speak about how that was quelled. In early March, I pulled out my laptop and began to type, only to hear that the airport had been attacked in Port-au-Prince. And that same day, gangs attacked several major prisons and released thousands of violent criminals that had been arrested in the previous 2 years. I thought, well, I can't write about this. Things are simply too bad. I won't be able to share these stories. It has to get better. And here we are today. 80% of the city of Port-au-Prince controlled by the gangs, gunfire a constant din, checkpoints and kidnappings, and above all, fear. If you're here tonight, you've seen those same headlines. You know it's bad. I've heard many Haitians speak about how things are worse than they can remember, and when the average Haitian age is 23 and a half years old, it very well may be. So of course, you'll understand that I have to speak tonight about how, for the sake and safety of our staff, our senior leaders in Haiti decided they needed to close the doors of our main campus, shut down the clinic, stop the feeding programs, cancel the classes, and lock the gates. Give in to the gangs and accept that now is not the time for our work. Except they didn't. I'm here tonight to share the stories of a group of people so phenomenal, so blessed, so inspirational. There are thousands of stories in Haiti right now, and I don't discount those of bloodshed and misery, but I am lifted by the unbelievable ministry of our people. who have proclaimed, "Not here, not us." They wake up hours before the sun rises. They WhatsApp about their routes and their neighborhoods, coordinating how to safely traverse the miles between their homes and our buildings. They pack extra bags so if violence erupts during the day, they can stay overnight, not because of the meager safety we try and provide, but because then they can get up the next morning and get back to the work of Haitians helping Haitians. So many of the stories in Haiti right now are grim. But I'm here tonight to tell you that there is another separate reality in Criswa. A world where our people continue to feed and teach and heal and minister. A world where some of the most desperate and the destitute look to us for help, for care, and for recognition. This world is one of rebellion. A rebellion that refuses to allow the bullets and the blockades to stop our work, the work of Christ. We have so many incredible programs. Our clinic, healthcare services, food and nutritional supplement programs, education sponsorships and programs, small business development initiatives. We never know how these investments will flourish. For my pen pal, Paul, his sponsorship led him to become a civil engineer. He was hired onto his very first project in 2018, assisting with the design and reconstruction of our main campus building, which had been leveled in the 2010 earthquakes. Its completion in 2021 was thanks to the work of many hands and so many in this room tonight, and serves as a beautiful symbol of our work realized. Our clinic has served in dozens of ways, critical ways, in the past few years too, providing routine medical care for the local community. Despite the sharp rise in violence in the last few months, this past quarter saw more patients than in the same time last year. In just the first few months of the year, we had 3,893 pediatric consults, 3,302 vaccination visits, 1,147 patients accessed medication, 102 children entered our nutrition program. These are astronomical numbers for any period of time for a clinic staffed by only a handful. But to imagine this in the middle of a war zone is heroic. Last fall, we introduced a trauma care program. We started by training some of our staff to administer and have intense conversations about violence, PTSD, and several more brutal realities of day-to-day life. Only days after these trainings started, a group of armed men pounded on the gates of our campus demanding money and supplies. They swung their bats and raised their guns. Of course, they just assured us they were only there for discussion. They left. This is trauma, and we were ready. In moments, fear was met with the skilled competence of our team that was training for exactly these types of situations. In the past, our operations might have been more clear, predictable, ready for a people who knew what to expect. Now we're adaptable, not chaotic, but ready for change, serving whoever shows up at our door. Sometimes we here in the US can only watch in awe, nod our heads and raise the funds, while our heroes, our rebels, defy the odds. Their names are on the cards on the table in front of you. I encourage you to bring them home with you, read them, pray for them. Their names, their lives, their ministry deserve to be remembered, honored, revered. There are many days we are at a loss for what more we can do for our staff in Haiti, our family. Maybe the reason why is we know we have so far to go. Maybe because they already out-survived and out-thrived every wildest dream. They march past goals we never set because they have seemed impossible to expect. Where does outreach go from here? What do we do next? I don't know. Outreach to Haiti is serving the needs of a country that needs it now more than ever. Even so, there's more to accomplish, and our dreams must persist. We cannot settle, we cannot compromise. We owe it to our people to believe in our journey together. In a country of carpetbagging nonprofits and swindlers within and without, it's not good enough to simply be one of the longest lasting and demonstrably beneficial organizations around. We cannot stop at the lofty goals that other organizations have set. I don't want to be the ministry that sponsors the most students, or feeds the most malnourished mothers, or treats the most injuries when the hospitals are overwhelmed. We must pray, we must work for more. I hope for a Haiti not just where every child has a classroom, but for a Haiti that is the paragon of international study. I hope for a Haiti not just where every mouth is fed, but for a Haiti where their agricultural abundance allows for the distribution of food beyond its shores. I hope for a Haiti not just where the hospital hallways are clean of the blood of violence, but for a Haiti where the foremost physicians travel to learn the most promising research. We're not limited by Haitian faith, because that faith is deep and ever-growing. We're not limited by Haitian aspiration, for there are people that yearn for freedom more than any. We're not limited by anything, in fact, anything but our own vision. I see a tomorrow for outreach for our staff, for the thousands we serve, and that tomorrow is bright. We rebel, and therefore we exist. And so I ask you tonight, how will you rebel? Thank you.